The world of compact handguns is absolutely massive. If you want to find one for concealed carry, then you have what's basically a buffet of pistols in front of you. Some are outstanding choices, some are okay, and some absolutely suck. So today we bring you the 11 compact guns that you should never buy for concealed carry. Number 11. Derringers. Derringers possess a certain kind of cool that can't be replicated by modern pistols. These small double-barrel pistols can be chambered in anything from 22 LR to 45 Colt. Some Derringers, like the Bond Arms Derringers, are brilliantly crafted guns. However, they are among the worst guns for concealed carry. You get 2 shots, a single action only trigger, teeny tiny grips, and super short barrels. The combination of these 3 features gives you lots of recoil, a slow follow-up shot, and a very slow reload time. Derringers might be cool, but they are not a good choice for concealed carry. A better alternative would be the Ruger LCP. Suppose you want a small gun that's super easy to conceal with the Ruger LCP or LCP2. These teeny tiny 380 ACPs provide you 3 times the firepower at just a little more size than a standard Derringer. Plus, they are semi-auto and mag-fed. Number 10. Big ol' Magnums. We love shooting powerful revolvers. The recoil, the power, and the challenge make them fun to shoot and perfect for hunting and even self-defense against bears. A finely tuned revolver in 44 Magnum or 454 Castle provides a joy most other guns cannot replicate. Sadly, that translates over to one of the worst guns for concealed carry. They are much too big and too hard to conceal carry, and will weigh you down rather quickly. Also, these big calibers are a bit much for concealed carry and often way too powerful for daily carry. A round that works on a bear might be a bit much for a bad guy. On top of that, good luck on your follow-up shots. Want a good concealed carry wheel gun with Magnum in the title? Well, check out the Ruger LCR and 327 Federal Magnum. This little fella provides a lot of punch for its small size. It's such a thin round, a traditional 5-round chamber can hold 6 rounds of 327 Federal Magnum. The LCR is plenty small and easy to conceal, and the 327 Federal Magnum packs a punch without being hard to control. Number 9. Rifle caliber pistols. Why someone ever wants to squeeze a 5.56 or a 7.62 by 39mm round into a single-barreled pistol astounds us. What even bothers us more is the fact this pistol is advertised for concealed carry. A single-shot firearm sucks already. Popping a rifle round into a super short barrel kills the potential of a rifle round in the first place. In a pistol, these rifle rounds create massive amounts of flash and concussion. They deliver poor ballistic performance, and overall are just kinda sucky. They are a novelty, and you should never trust a novelty to defend your life with. These might be the absolute worst guns for concealed carry. If you want rifle-like performance in a pistol, then check out the Ruger 57. The 5.7 by 28mm isn't a rifle cartridge necessarily, but it falls into a weird category of PDW round. It offers excellent performance at 100 yards and delivers excellent penetration. On top of that, it has low recoil and a very high capacity, albeit this gun is a full-sized pistol, so you'll need a good holster and belt. Number 8. Most surplus pistols. Surplus pistols are an ever-growing group of guns, so it's tough to say all surplus pistols occupy the worst guns for concealed carry. Surplus 1911s, Makarovs, and certain Berettas are all acceptable, but there are lots of surplus pistols that are not suitable for concealed carry. For example, guns like the Tokarev TT-33 are not drop-safe, and CZ-52s are notorious for firing when decocked. Lots of surplus guns have tons of issues with reliability, poor mags, and old, hard-to-find ammunition. Oftentimes, their ammunition sources are minimal, and finding quality defensive ammunition can be next to impossible. Also, these guns tend to be big and low capacity, making them inefficient for concealed carry. If you want an old-school handgun from the depths of Europe, then check out the Walter PPK series of pistols. You get the old-school European design, but a safe and compact pistol for concealed carry. Additionally, 380 ACP is super popular, and you can find proper defensive ammunition for it. Plus, it's the gun of James Bond. Number 7. 410 revolvers. Why these things ever got popular, we'll never know. 410 revolvers became super popular a few years ago, and some companies made compact variants for concealed carry. They are also chambered in 45 Colt, and if you want an unnecessarily large and inaccurate 45 Colt, then go ahead, I guess. 410 through these guns suck, and that's why they are one of the worst guns for concealed carry. 410 revolvers lack velocity, provide unpredictable patterning of buckshot, are huge, heavy, and downright silly. We put them in the novelty category, and they are fine for having fun, but beyond that they are not very good at anything. Do you want a big revolver for concealed carry? Well, choose an S&W 686 revolver with a 2.5-inch barrel. You get a .357 Magnum revolver that provides a punch, and you get 6 of those punches. The S&W 686 sets the standard for combat revolvers and provides shooters with a big gun that's actually effective and highly efficient. Number 6. Magnum Research Desert Eagle 50 AE. It's not uncommon for concealed carry firearms to have a 7-round mag capacity. It is uncommon for concealed carry guns with a 7-round mag capacity to weigh 72 ounces empty. Popularized by the 1997 movie The Matrix, the handgun of Agent Smith is just too big and heavy to be carried concealed by the average person, unless you go around wearing a pea coat at all times, and even then you're going to look a little lopsided. The solution, of course, is to carry 2, though at that point, suspenders might be mandatory even with the toughest of gun belts. The sad part is that all that weight and a good bit of engineering makes the Desert Eagle a much more easy-to-handle firearm than most would think. It's also extremely accurate. Number 5. Smith & Wesson Model 29. Another famous, perhaps iconic movie gun, another terrible choice for concealed carry. Though it might have been eclipsed as the most powerful handgun in the world, a .44 Magnum with a 6.5-inch barrel is still powerful enough to hunt animals larger than humans. That same barrel length makes getting the Model 29 out of a holster an ungainly affair, and the shoulder holster preferred by Dirty Harry is one of the worst ways to carry a handgun around, only being eclipsed by not using a holster at all. Like the Desert Eagle, it's a very accurate firearm and not nearly as difficult to shoot as one would think, given the claims of Clint Eastwood in the film as to its power. Number 4. FN Herstal FNX 45 Tactical. If there's a better handgun than the FNX 45 Tactical for pulling out of the box, removing the thread protector, installing the .45 caliber silencer of your choice, and going to work, we don't know what it is. But the FNX 45 is certainly not a jack of all trades. It's a master of silent target elimination. Its 15-round mag capacity and extended base plates mean you can shoot longer and reload faster, but these features are not going to be hidden very easily under a t-shirt. Put a red dot on it, attach a silencer and a weapon light, even better, a Surefire or Steiner with an infrared laser to go with your white foes and VGs. And you have the best home defense handgun on the planet. Just don't expect to hide it at the grocery store or feel comfortable with it digging into your waist after a long trip, unless that road trip is to the grocery store at BIAP. Number 3. Smith & Wesson X-Frame. Yes, the 460 S&W redefines what a powerful handgun cartridge is. Yes, 5&W S&W is impressively gigantic. Yes, both are not impossible to control with the soft grips, extra-large frame, and integral porting of the average X-Frame revolver. But regardless of length, they're just too big for concealed carry. Everything we said about the Model 29 applies here, but to a greater extent. Even the short-barrel X-Frame is just too bulky, and that's putting aside for a moment the fact that these cartridges really come alive with barrels longer than 8 inches. Snub-nosed 2 3/4-inch versions offer little more muzzle velocity than your average .45 Colt revolver with a 4 or 5-inch barrel, while cranking up the recoil and muzzle blast to nearly unsustainable levels. We don't think they make the 2 3/4-inch anymore, and there's a reason for that. It's not because it was a highly effective carry piece. Number 2. Glock 40 Gen 4 MOS. Like the FNX 45 Tactical, the Glock 40 MOS is a purpose-built firearm that excels at a few certain tasks. These tasks include ringing steel plates with authority at 200 yards and beyond, bringing home dinner for the entire family for a week or more, and making Delta Elite owners feel inadequate when you show them your 15-round mags. Unfortunately, these tasks do not include hiding the pistol on your body. Sure, you could do it with the proper attire, but you could do it a lot better with other firearms, like the Glock 29, for example, if 10mm is your thing. Everyone, regardless of gender, should own a 10mm at some point, just like everyone should learn how to drive a stick shift, how to splint a dislocated shoulder, and how to build a fire. But knowing how to do these things is not the same as doing them every day. If your average day makes Ron Swanson look like Richard Simmons, maybe concealed carry of a G40 MOS is for you. Number 1. 1911s. For some reason, the 1911 hangs on. Some people insist that it's all they would trust their life to, and that it's the greatest handgun ever made. Hogwash. Some people hear the ramblings of older shooters. During times of shortage of handguns, The proliferate nature of 1911 manufacturers may make it a more readily available choice of pistol. At the time of its invention, it was a technological leap forward. Today, it's aggressively obsolescent, and there is almost no tangible benefit to using one if a more modern alternative is available. If you were thinking of getting one for use as a carry gun, here's why it's a terrible choice. A government frame 1911 weighs 38 to 42 ounces unloaded. Add 8 rounds of 230 grain hardball to it, 1 ounce equals 437 grains, and you're now up to 42 to 46 ounces. That's almost 3 pounds of gun and ammunition. Lugging one around is miserable. It doesn't matter how good your belt is, you feel gravity fighting you every time you stand up. The standard gun is 8.5 inches long and 5.5 inches tall. That's enormous. Sure, the slide is slim, but with the grips and controls, it's barely any narrower than modern service pistols. If you've ever carried one inside the waistband, it takes up an enormous amount of space and makes sitting down awkward. The standard 1911 holds 7+1 or 8+1, depending on mag, if chambered in 45 ACP, and 9+1 or 10+1 if chambered in 9mm, which improves the gun's capacity from laughable to merely pathetic. The original 5-inch gun is larger and heavier than a Glock 21, the full-size Glock pistol in 45 ACP. If 45 is your thing, the Glock 21 holds 13+1 of it. The officer or CCO variants only make matters worse. 6.7+1 in 45 ACP and 8.9+1 in 9mm. Sure, you can say something 2011, but precious few double-stack 1911 pistols are realistically good carry guns. Have you ever seen an STI 2011 in person? They're huge, and most are prohibitively expensive. A person could raise the objections of 2 world wars and competitive shooters using 1911 pistols. For starters, small arms are rarely the deciding factor in armed conflicts, and those top-flight competitive shooters aren't running factory guns from their local gun store, but heavily tuned custom pistols. And plenty of world championship pistol shooting has been done with Glocks, CZs, Tanfolios, and other makes models. Point being, while a person can shoot one very accurately, you don't need one to do so. That comes from putting in the reps. It isn't that you have to buy a hand-fit, match-grade 1911 to get one that's reliable. There are some factory guns that are. But if you try to save money by getting a cheaper import, chances are you'll need to do some fiddling to get it there. Extractors needing a tune-up, feed ramps in need of a polish, the installation of some decent sights, a spring kit, oh, and don't forget those Wilson combat mags you'll need to buy too, and so on will all cost you, especially if you have a gunsmith do the work. Chances are that if you get a budget gun, you're going to end up spending enough to tuning it up for you to have just bought a good one to begin with. Is it guaranteed? No, but there's a good chance. That's all for this video, folks. We'll see you another time.